They're off.
And as they begin to race away, West Tip is one of the first to show, with Stars Delight and Hungry Her. Racing wide is Uncle Merlin, wider still Brown Windsor, then Bob Tisdall, with just in behind these Roller Joint and Mr. Frisk and GA. Lanaveau is one of the back markers. Young Driver is out the back, but as they cross the Melling Road and come down towards the first, it's Mr. Frisk and Hungry Her, and on the wide outside, Brown Windsor and Stars Delight and Bob Tisdall, and last of the Brownies and West Tip. Polyphemus is on the inside, and Charter Hardware, and the leaders are safely over the first. And as they race away down towards the second, it's Polyphemus on the inside, Uncle Merlin down the centre of the track. Brown Windsor is with that one, then comes Big Sun. They continue their journey down the far side, and the faller at the first was Gala's Image. They head down towards the first ditch, and as they go down to it, it's on the inside Polyphemus, and also with them Big Sun on the outside. Mononor is one of the back markers.
Going down towards the fourth, it's Uncle Merlin on the inside of Stars Delight, then GA just in behind them. Mr. Frisk is very close, then Polyphemus on the inside. Just in behind the leaders, Joint Sovereignty with Brown Windsor as they go down towards the next. Uncle Merlin on the inside of Stars Delight, then Mr. Frisk, Polyphemus right up against the stand side as they jump this one. Just in behind them, there was GA, and not far away is Hungry Her as they go down towards Bechers Brook, and it's Polyphemus on the inside. Towards the centre is Uncle Merlin, on the outside Stars Delight, then Mr. Frisk just in behind them, and after these is Brown Windsor, and then Pucker Major as they stream over Bechers Brook. A slight mistake on the behind the leaders there by Joint Sovereignty, but over that Lanaveau looked to be a faller, and now on to the one after Bechers. It's Uncle Merlin who's taking them along. Polyphemus on the inside, then Mr. Frisk, Brown Windsor, Pucker Major and Stars Delight, the two greys. These are the leading 6 or 7 as they go down towards the Canal turn, and it's Uncle Merlin, the American challenger, 2 to 3 lengths clear of Polyphemus, angling into the Canal turn. Uncle Merlin, he's over safely. Polyphemus, Stars Delight, very wide indeed round the Canal turn, and another very wide was Thinking Cap as they go on towards the Valentine's Brook. Uncle Merlin coming to take it, 2 clear of Polyphemus, then Brown Windsor going well up on the inside. Just in behind them is GA, then Pucker Major, Mr. Frisk right up with them as well as they go down towards the 10th fence. Uncle Merlin's made most so far. On the inside, Polyphemus, then Brown Windsor, Mr. Frisk. After these, Pucker Major. These are the leaders as they go on to the 11th.
And as they come down to it, it's Uncle Merlin and Mr. Frisk. Polyphemus on the inside, then Brown Windsor, a bold jump, followed by Pucker Major. Big Sun is mid-division at this stage. In behind him is West Tip, and they continue their journey down towards the 12th fence. And it's Uncle Merlin in the lead, bowling along in front. From in second place, Polyphemus on the outside of Mr. Frisk, and then comes Pucker Major, and behind these Brown Windsor. Rinus gets a call. These are followed by Mixed Star as they cross the Melling Road. Then Hungry Her, and behind Hungry Her is Durham Edition. West Tip is nearer last and first, and also at the back door is Gallic Prince, and they begin the sweep onto the racecourse proper, and as they do so, it's Uncle Merlin leading, coming down towards the 13th from Brown Windsor in second. Hungry Her comes through into third, also making ground close to up behind them is Pucker Major and Suggest, and with that one Bob Tisdall, who's racing wide, and they head down towards the 13th fence in the Seagram Grand National. As they come down to it, it's Uncle Merlin in the lead from Polyphemus on the inside. Wide is Bob Tisdall. Stars Delight is being pulled up as they go down towards the next, and the leaders are safely over. It's Uncle Merlin and Mr. Frisk who share the lead from Polyphemus on the inside, showing third. Then comes Brown Windsor and Mixed Star in behind them. These are followed by Bob. Also Joint Sovereignty making ground, and behind these comes Big Sun. The faller there was Gainsay. Mononor was badly hampered, and that crashes through the rails. They come down towards the chair fence, and it's Uncle Merlin in the lead from Mr. Frisk. Uncle Merlin boldly from Mr. Frisk. Polyphemus, a real mistake there, recovers. Brown Windsor comes through. Rinus is there, and then behind these comes on the stand side Suggest. They take the water, the 16th fence. Stride for stride, Mr. Frisk, Uncle Merlin, and then Brown Windsor and Rinus, and then comes Suggest, and behind these Polyphemus and Mixed Star and Pucker Major and Course Hunter, and then Durham Edition is mid-division, 2 lengths back to Bob Tisdall. Then behind that one comes Big Sun and Solaris and Charter Hardware and Nautical Joke, and then comes GA, followed by Bechers, and last of the Brownies and Hungry Her, and then Go Far and West Tip and Bonanza Boy, who's only got 3 behind it. Call Collect is one of those, so too is Against the Grain. Also at the back door is Joint Sovereignty, now losing a lot of ground, and they race down towards the 17th fence, and as they come to it, It's Uncle Merlin in the lead from Mr. Frisk in second. Brown Windsor on the inside showing third. Rinus a bold jump 4. Suggest makes ground 5, and then behind these comes Course Hunter against the grey and untidy at the rear of the field. Forget Gallic Prince. They race down towards the 18th, and Mr. Frisk takes it up from Uncle Merlin on the inside. Mr. Frisk and Uncle Merlin, these stride for stride, and they're clear of the others as they head down towards the 19th. Behind these comes Suggest and then Bob Tisdall as they take the ditch.
Over that one, Uncle Merlin and Mr. Frisk are well clear at this stage. Huntworth went at the chair. Gallic Prince is well tailed off under Jose Simo as they jump the next. A brilliant leap by Uncle Merlin on the outside of Mr. Frisk. Then comes Rinus. Brown Windsor still there. Then Suggest. After these is Joint Sovereignty as they go down towards the next. Uncle Merlin's been out in the front all the way. After this is Mr. Frisk. These two are clear at this stage from Rinus back in third. Then Brown Windsor, and after that Durham Edition making ground. Suggest towards the outside. Further back behind these is Go Far, then Pucker Major on the retreat. Bechers is beginning to run on. Then comes GA as they go down towards Bechers, and it's Uncle Merlin. Another fine leap. Mr. Frisk. Oh, Uncle Merlin pecked on landing and unseated the rider. He jumped it well, leaves Mr. Frisk in front. So it's Mr. Frisk now the leader after jumping Bechers with Marcus Armytage. Clear of Rinus in second. Then on the outside Suggest, Brown Windsor, Durham Edition getting closer. Bechers, Pucker Major, Course Hunter. These are the leaders. Further back, Bonanza Boy's got a lot to do as they go down to the Canal turn. It's Mr. Frisk, 4, 5, 6 clear at this stage. Suggest goes into second. Over the Canal, Rinus in third. Then Brown Windsor, Durham Edition, Bechers as they go on towards Valentine Brooks, and Mr. Frisk still has a 6-7 length lead over it, ahead of Suggest in second. Then Rinus, Brown Windsor, Durham Edition, Bechers as they go on towards the next. This is the 26th fence, and it's Mr. Frisk who's still clear, kicked into it by Armytage, over clear of Suggest. Then Rinus, Durham Edition, Brown Windsor, a mistake by Bechers, and they've got 4 to jump. Mr. Frisk is clear.
And Mr. Frisk clear by 6 to 8 lengths from Suggest on the outside of Rinus against the grain has been pulled up. Then Durham Edition. Behind these comes Brown Windsor, and Big Sun starts to make ground as they continue their relentless pursuit down towards the third from home. And as they come to it, it's Mr. Frisk over in the lead from Rinus, and then Durham Edition, and then Suggest, and then comes Brown Windsor. And these are followed at some distance by Big Sun. And they've got just 2 more fences to jump as they cross the Melling Road. And it's Mr. Frisk clear by 8 to 10 lengths from Rinus in second place, with Durham Edition in third, and behind these comes Last of the Brownies. These are followed by Big Sun, and after Big Sun a really big gap to the others. And then comes Brown Windsor, and they've got just 2 more fences to jump, and that's the chasing group. Durham Edition on the outside of Rinus, and they're catching Mr. Frisk, who's tired, and it's Mr. Frisk who's starting to labour, and he's got 2 more fences to jump. It's Mr. Frisk out in front from Durham Edition on the outside of Rinus, and it's Mr. Frisk 2 out from Durham Edition, who's getting closer this year in second place. Rinus back in third, Brown Windsor 4, then Last of the Brownies, and behind that one Suggest. They've got 1 to jump in the National. And it's Mr. Frisk comes to it, clear by 2 lengths. Here comes Durham Edition in the blue jacket. He's closing on Mr. Frisk, and they race down to the elbow. And it's going to be a birthday present for Arthur Stephenson, or is it? Durham Edition pressing on the outside of Mr. Frisk. They pull well clear. They race round the elbow. Mr. Frisk finds reserves, a furlong to go. Durham Edition on the left, Mr. Frisk on the right. In the red cap, Mr. Frisk bravely. Here comes Durham Edition for more. Mr. Frisk finds reserves. Mr. Frisk is going to win it. At the line, Mr. Frisk is the winner from Durham Edition in second.